Women will always end up disappointing men, and it's not a woman's fault. We as men, through the Oedipus complex, the love we have for our mother that translates later on to the love we have for women, love women in an idealistic way. Women do not love men in an idealistic way, at least not past the age of 13, 14, to be honest. However, a man can actually love a woman that way, idealistically, in a simping way throughout the course of his life, unless he does something about it. I'm saying this again. It's not a woman's fault that we are like this. It is not even our fault as men. However, it becomes our fault if we project this desire into the world and expect this and have this entitlement that expect this kind of love from women, because it's just simply not fair to women, because it's just simply not real. The only woman that will love us unconditionally as men is our mother. That's it. Other women will not love us unconditionally and are not supposed to be loving us that way. So when it comes to women disappointing men, why do they disappoint men other than that? We live in a society where women are put on a pedestal, and it's also not really women's fault, not most women's fault at least. But because we already have this ideal view of women, and plus the society is telling us that women are sugar and spice and everything nice, and they put them on a pedestal, how can we not put them on a pedestal of our own making through the ideal love we have for them, and also through the perspective of what society has fed us since we were born? You just need to read some of the poetry from the troubadours in the Middle Ages to understand how men have always loved women idealistically. Now you add what society is telling us about women, then you can paint yourself a picture of how men see women. And women will never understand how much we put women on a pedestal, how we can just look at a woman and feel infatuation right away. Women will never get this. And it's okay. They have their own shit to deal with. We have our own shit to deal with. It's all good. However, for men, we have to understand that women are not all rainbows and butterflies. And it's hard because the pressure we put on women to actually be that ideal is simply unreachable, because women go to the bathroom, they do their thing, they do the number one, they do the number two, they smell bad in the morning, they smell bad after working out, they have bad breath in the morning, they age, they are not as perfect physically as we make them up to be. Of course, they use makeup, filter, and all this stuff. That's not help. But no matter what, we paint this picture of them that is so high up in the sky that it is just unreachable. It's horrible for men and for women. A French author wrote that women never live up to the erection they cause. And I thought it was really funny, and it's very true. And again, it's not women's fault, because we are so attracted to women and we seek women's validation so much, and we love them ideally, and we want sexual gratification from them so much. We cannot help but be disappointed. When you want something so much, you will always be disappointed, because the real will never be as good as the anticipation you had for them. So what can men do to not be disappointed by women? Now, not angels. They're not even bad monsters, if you will, because the mistake a lot of men do is because they're so disappointed by women, they actually start hating them. But if you had not placed them so high on a pedestal, they would have not fallen from grace, and you would not start hating them. That's why it's a trap. A lot of men fall into these two categories, love them too much as simps, and also start hating them so much. The reality is somewhere in the middle, where they're just human beings. So they have their flaws, their qualities. They age like us. They are not those perfect creatures that are ageless and pure and all this stuff. It's just as mediocre as us men. The way they act and the way they behave makes them better or worse or anything in between. Men don't need to put them on a pedestal. Yes, we can love them and appreciate them, but we should appreciate them and love them as human beings, not as some mythological creatures we have made up in our minds. So that's all I have to say. Women will disappoint men, can do something about it, and it's definitely not woman's fault. I mean, sometimes it is, but not all the time. Thank you so much. See you very soon.